Let's find the equation of a line through 2 points. We also know that we want this equation in slope-intercept form. So our overall goal is to get this equation, y equals mx plus b. Now we're going to leave y and x as our variables, but we need to find the values for m, which is our slope, and for b, which is our y-intercept. I'm Angie, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go ahead and dive in with that slope. Now for the slope, I've got y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's label these points, and it doesn't really matter how you label them. One's going to be 0.1 and one is going to be 0.2. So now I can go ahead and plug my coordinates into my slope formula. In that numerator, I want the difference in the y. So I'm going to take the y from 0.2 minus the y from 0.1, so 5 minus 3, and my denominator is the difference in the x's, x from 0.1 minus the x from 0.2. This is going to give me a 2 in the numerator and a 1 in the denominator, so m is equal to 2. This gives me the equation of my line so far. So far, I have y is equal to, I know what m is equal to 2, x plus b. That means that I need to find b next. And to do that, I'm going to plug in values for y and for x. You can choose either point. I'm going to go ahead and choose the point 1, 3. So if I choose 1, 3, that means that I'm going to replace x with a 1 and y with a 3. So in my equation, I get y, but y is equal to 3, is equal to 2 times my x, but x is equal to 1 plus b. So I've got 3 is equal to 2 plus b. I just need to subtract that 2 from both sides, minus 2, and 1 is equal to b. Let's go ahead and take what we had in that equation so far and plug our value for b in. So we've got y is equal to 2x, and I now have that b as a positive 1, so 2x plus 1, and that's the equation of our line. Here comes another one. I'm going to show you some examples that have some special cases and some shortcuts that you can be looking for. This is actually one of them. However, I want to start the very same way. I know that my goal is to get y equals mx plus b. I need that m, I need that b. We're going to start by finding m, and I'm going to label those points so I can do that. So m is equal to the difference in my y coordinates. So y2 minus the first y, which is 2, divided by the difference in the x coordinates. So that's going to be 3 minus 0. In my numerator, I get negative 6. Denominator, I get 3. So I get a slope of negative 2. So far, I've got, for my equation, y is equal to negative 2 replaces m, x plus b. Now my next step is to figure out what b is. Did you notice what the shortcut is here? Now I could definitely pick one of these points and plug it in, but we are actually given the y-intercept, which is what b is. My y-intercept is 0, 2, which means that I know that b is equal to 2. This is such a great shortcut. Look to see if you're given a y-intercept, and I am. So I can plug that into my equation, and I am done. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 2, and we've got our equation. This is another one with a special case and a really great shortcut, but let's go ahead and start the same way. I've got y is equal to mx plus b. I need to find m and I need to find b. I'm going to start by finding m, and I'm just going to do 0.1 comes first, and 0.2 is going to be that negative 3, 2. So as I calculate m, I get in my numerator the y from 0.2 minus the y from 0.1. Notice this is a 0. In my denominator, I've got my x from 0.2 and my x from 0.1. Well, I get 0 over, this is a plus in the denominator, not that it matters, because I end up with 0 divided by anything, which is just equal to 0. Now, normally my next step would be to find b by plugging in a point, but I've got a slope of 0. I know that this is a horizontal line. Let me plot this really quick, and then I'm going to show you what that shortcut is. So as I plot this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, I've got that point at negative 1, 2, which is right here, and I've got that point at negative 3, 2, which is right here. So if I plot that line, I end up with a line that goes right through 2 on the y-axis. No matter what my values are, I'm going to have 2 everywhere. My slope is 0. 0 times x is 0. So instead of doing the second step, I can actually just notice that I've got the same y-coordinates. I even could have skipped the slope step. Because I've got the same y-coordinates, no matter what point I am on this line, y is equal to 2. Keep that shortcut in mind when we look at this next example. Here's our next example, and our goal is going to be y equals mx plus b. But if I try and find m, I'm going to end up with a 0 in my denominator. So this method here is not going to work. But what do you notice about those points? Do you see it? 3 is the x in both of these. So I can actually just skip right to my equation. Every single x on this is going to be a vertical line, is going to be equal to 3. Good work. Take a look at my next video. We're going to cover the point slope formula. Thanks for watching.